Everyone, my name is Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Daria from Detroit. This is season 1, episode 5, currently airing on the BET Plus app every Thursday. Don't know what time it comes on, but hey, tune in because this Thursday is the season finale. There's a reason why I did add 2 episodes on Tuesday, which I have been doing just on Thursdays, but I'm trying to catch us up so that we could watch the finale together since the show's going to be over. It's a great show. I think you all should be watching, and hopefully I'm convincing you through my reviews to check out this show. Now, I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into it. All right, so Daria, she's down bad at this point. Like, she thought she had a golden ticket. She thought that she scored a big one. One thing I can say, and it becomes true every time. If you feel like you've done good the first time, you can get overly arrogant. And this new confidence comes about yourself, and then you just think that everything else will be good. I can give you some examples. Even with some TV shows. Season 1, it's so good. And then all of a sudden you get to season 2. You're like, what the? For example, what's the one show? Oh my Lord. Empire on Fox. Yeah. It was doing good season 1, and then season 2, but like, what is this? It happens. I can talk about myself. So I was in this choir group called the Magical Choirs. This is in high school. On our first night, we were so nervous, but we ended up doing very well. The first opening night of our concert or our production that we were doing. The second night, we didn't do so well. We couldn't see it or hear it, but our choir teacher did. And he told us, and some people were pissed, and pissed at him and started mouthing off at him. And this is like 11 o'clock, 11:30. And he said, you were off. And we can have another rehearsal right now. Like, it got to that point. It was just like, oh, okay, I don't want to do that, so y'all can just shut up. However, we did regroup. And by the third night, he was singing our praises. And I think it was to really break that overly arrogance that we can have sometimes about ourselves and treat everything and every aspect like with care. You can still have confidence, but make sure that you're not overdoing it, that you miss some of the steps or miss whatever you are actually operating in. Hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. Now that I've talked, Daria, yeah, she is unsure of anything. She doesn't even want to make assumptions about the call that came in last night on Chris's cell or ambience calls. But the most that she knows is she had to make some money because she was out of it. She ends up going to a pawn shop. All right. While she's there sitting in the parking lot, contemplating on going in, she's thinking of happier times with SWAT. She doesn't know if she wants to go forward or backwards at this point. When she finally gets up the nerve, I think, to probably get out of her car to go, she's looking in her rear view mirror, and she spots this man looking at her. She turns around to try to look at him, and he had disappeared. All right, so Daria goes and visits Aja. She's planning for her gala. And while they're talking, I got this in place, that in place, Daria ends up breaking down. She tells Aja that she tried to sell her wedding ring, but she couldn't. And she says, I need some money to hold until I get, I think, her next check or something that way. Something like that. And Aja said, I got some money for you. So she was there for her friend right then and there. All right. I think I wrote this thing down wrong. She's got, Daria has an immediate plan for her life. Forget about ambient and the divorce. She texted Moni and told her I'm out, meaning that she's out of trying to solve this mystery of Deontay. Um, the Russian spoke, laying out how to meet, where to meet. Well, Moni comes over and basically tries to talk Daria out of it. And Daria's kind of just, no, I don't know. We're not doing this, da 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 da. At this point, Daria had tore down her wall of weird. I like to call it that, based upon Smallville. They had this wall of weird when they're trying to solve cases of all of the people that have been affected by the meteorites. But anyways, after a while, Daria, I wrote this down, but I don't even know what I was thinking of. They see this code, and I think Daria thinks that Chris has this place because they're looking at different pictures. They see this place of this warehouse, and they're thinking that Chris is supposed to meet, I guess, a Russian or someone at this place. They have this code of 2024 817 2124 2142. It's basically when they were supposed to meet at night, and I think it was supposed to be later on that night that Chris is supposed to be meeting this person. Daria's finally getting her mojo back, but in the meantime, Detective Frederick Holstein comes by, and he's basically telling Daria to back off, and thinks that she is a suspect in the Russian unaliving himself. Of course, Daria's not giving up any information, but he ends up saying, if I hear that you are anywhere near where he's at, that's going to put you on the suspect list. So for what, I don't know, I need to really check up on the word of rendezvous, but of course they see all this camera film. I forgot, we got some more to talk about. I jumped ahead, sorry. Maybe they can find out where this rendezvous, this meeting place of where Chris is supposed to be with someone else through the camera film. Daria's outside, ready to leave, and they notice that, she notices that somebody is taking pictures of her. Danger comes by. And he's basically saying, hey, I think he had made something and was inviting Daria over, but she said no time for that. But can he talk to the Willow Boys about backing off of Roman? Danger said, I'm independent. I don't really deal with them. I guess it's all like gang stuff. But we see later Danger is going to see what he can do to get them to back off Roman. So Moni, she goes to a camera film place that develops film. I don't even think anymore we even carry those, But Chris still had some of that he was taking film. So, anyways, Moni talks with the guy. They develop the film, pick up some film also that Chris had. The photo guy at least heard from Chris that he was in town on business and he had a big meeting coming up. She notices one picture of it being at PKR Automotive. It's an old building. It's a frame, and then also Moni found a framed picture of him and Diarra, even though they spent 24 hours. Moni decided to give a booty squeeze to the photo guy for giving him all this information. Daria, when they meet up a little bit later, Daria is filled with a lot of love and smitten that he would have actually taken a photo and framed it. And at this point, Daria says, I'm in. So she's gotten her strength back. So Danger goes and meets with this woman named Velvet. Danger asks Velvet about Tank missing. She says that she does not know. That's all on you. Also, because of how things are going on in the mess in the streets, his independence may be coming up, meaning he won't be able to be independent much longer, possibly. He did ask if Velvet could ease up on Roman. She made no promises of that, so we gotta see what's gonna happen with Roman. All right, so it's gala time. Daria, Aja, Reggie, and Keyshawn. Daria decides to vet Keyshawn, just basically to find out what all he's about and if he's a good fit for Aja. She talks about Lord, female issues. I forgot what they are right now. She arranged for Aja to have her speech at the end because she wants to see if she can meet whomever is at this warehouse before at the time that they're supposed to meet. She tells Reggie to stall. Reggie ends up saying that this has to be some type of Greek job. He was remembering stuff from back in the day. Not meeting a source, meeting a suspect. She believes that she's going to be meeting a suspect and not a source. She's envisioning, because she's looking at these pictures of Chris setting up different booby traps for just in case something goes down. And Aja and the guy that's who I know as Mr. Harry Lennox, he's there, of course, and he's giving her a lot of wisdom, and she's also at a place where she has to think more. She has to expand her mind on certain things. She wants to be a part of the people under the 35 list and want to be prominent in Detroit. And he said, how do you plan to get back to Detroit if you make it, in the success and all of that? And it made Aja ponder, because it's like, whoa, it's a lot bigger. And I see that the writer and the creator is really talking a lot about Detroit. I really need to just do my research on Detroit, because obviously Detroit is rebuilding from a time of when it was just lacking. I have a lot of family up there, and I haven't been up there in a while, for some years now. But I think Detroit is coming back. But I'm gonna find out a little bit more about Detroit. The DJ that Reggie had a one night stand with, he's the DJ that Aja had. I thought it wasn't gonna be a one night stand because it looked like they was interested in each other. But look, lust and interest can look the same when lust is on the prowl. All right, so they get to the place. Daria and Monty. They go to this rendezvous, and finally somebody shows up. They get out the car and they go, and it's a woman and then a man. Somehow Daria does recognize her face, but she doesn't know where from. We are introduced to the woman, and her name is Goldie Luckett. She's a mob fixer, whatever a mob fixer is. Goldie was saying, I don't know why you are here. I don't know where Chris is, but Chris isn't the man that you really think that he is. He's a con man, or maybe that was, no. But the guy was saying it too. So who you think? Oh, he's also a blackmailer. I'm really trying to figure out if Chris is Deontay. What if Chris is an undercover whatever and is trying to solve the Deontay case? I don't know yet, but we shall see. So Goldie was ready to kill her, and they start chasing her, Daria and Moni around. Daria, because she envisioned it before she came, knew where all the booby traps were, and they were able to defeat them. They run outside, and this guy named Detective Elias Marshall is out there and says, "Get in, because I'm on your side." They finally trust him to get into the car, and they run and they go. Detective Elias said that he used to be on the case. It's always a dead end, and you're always going to get the short end of the stick. And he encourages her to run back to your boy life, because this ain't what you want. But he was giving some little facts and all of that, so I think he's going to be joining on with the crew in some capacity. We shall see in episodes 6 and 7. Daria gets dropped off at the gala, and of course Reggie's trying to stall. Daria finally gets there, and she is torn from the floor up, meaning dirty and all this good stuff. She gets up there, and it looks like it's gonna be a mess. But she used herself, but put it in the form of Aja, as far as what her life is, and also used how Detroit was. and how Detroit is finding its new groove. She congratulated Aja, and Aja was just really impressed. I was impressed on how she was able to make up the speech. She didn't even write one down, which is really odd, Daria, but okay. So, she used all these metaphors. So, Aja was hugging Daria that was happy, but Mona was unhappy, and she ended up leaving. I don't know if there's some type of jealousy there. I mean, Daria is Aja's friend, and vice versa. You two are kind of forming something, but there hasn't been anything defined as of yet. You guys are bonded because of this case. Um, let's see. Daria ends up seeing the DJ and recognizing that he was there at the rave that they were having, and then she's hearing the voice in her head from the other detective regarding if I place you being at the club, it's going to get ugly for you. I apologize. Um, she's hearing that in her head. So I think at this point, Daria is ready to leave. Um, Aja and Reggie, they talked for a few minutes and they said, hey, people are talking about you and Keyshawn, and he may be your way into where you need to get to go. You can see on Aja's face that that's not where it looked like she wants to go now, or at least doesn't feel like she should have a future with this dude or something. I don't know. But maybe she doesn't want a man to help her out. I don't know. I guess we'll see in the future episodes. Um, oh, Daria runs someplace, and SWAT is running after her, and they talk, and Daria comes to the conclusion and confession. I apologize. That everything was not SWAT's fault, and she takes responsibility in breaking. Uh, she takes responsibility in how she felt in regards to when SWAT went to go take tests, because I guess to take tests to see if he could have children. She wanted children. Uh, they kind of end that conversation. He was like, Daria, you're still my wife. And she says, no, I'm not. It was kind of like a real goodbye. It seems like she took accountability where she needed to, but she's laying to rest this marriage at this point. I don't know what happens in episodes 6 and 7, but we gonna find out. Um, Daria, and Chris, she's having another vision at night. Um, she knows that she can't go back to her boring life, and she knows that this is changing her. She now remembers where she met Goldie. It was the night that her and Chris went out. Chris seemed to have gotten on the floor, and then he put something, and we see that he put a card in this lady's bag, which was Goldie. Chris comes back to the table, and Daria said, what happened? And he said, oh, this lady just dropped her earring, and I was giving it back to her. But we see him put this card in the purse. Then Daria asked, were we on a date or a cover for a shakedown? She ended up inviting Danger over because she needed something from him. I think that was it as far as the episode, but it was an interesting episode, and whatever Daria's life was beforehand, it was boring, and she needed something else, and as much as she thinks she needs it, I think it needs her. That's kind of, she's rediscovering and redefining herself. We're just getting a glimpse of it up close. So you're going to see breakdowns and meltdowns. And I don't want to go any further and all that. And I think that we can really see that even in real life if we look at how Daria is. She's trying to bury the past and move forward. And some things call her back, and then she don't know if she should go. People telling her no. I really like how this person wrote. I think it was Daria Kilpatrick. It's a lot that you can take from it outside of it just being an entertaining show. Y'all can let me know what you think of this episode. I was kind of all over the place, and it's been a few days since I watched the show and took my notes, so I wasn't remembering stuff like I wanted to, and I apologize. I apologize for the coughing. I thank everyone for coming to my channel. Stay tuned every Tuesday and Thursday to come and listen to my reviews to know what you're not watching that you should be watching. Also, I do have a couple of shows that I'm reviewing that are reality shows right now. Love and Marriage Huntsville on Saturdays. It's up on Sunday. And Summer House Martha's Vineyard. They come on Sunday, and I have my review up on Monday morning. But until the next video, wait, before you do that, please like this video. Also subscribe to my channel and leave your comments below. Until the next video, peace.